Alright, looks like we are getting ready to get rolling finally. I just want to make sure that we are live, which it looks like we finally are, so I will go ahead and get everything pulled up here while hopefully people will start getting notifications and tuning in. I always have to play with this a little bit, just getting started. We finally are starting to build an audience here, so that's pretty exciting. Now I have to actually keep my chat pulled up. But yeah, what is going on, guys? Griffin here, coming back with a live stream for you. For you guys, I should say, not just for you. But first and foremost, if you're just new to me, my name, obviously, like I just said, Griffin Thomas. I am a almost 21 here in a month or 2 months roughly now. Entrepreneur, specifically online entrepreneur, be it with selling on Amazon, eBay, trading in the stock markets. Obviously, I have a YouTube channel. I just love any way to make money online. It's not like about the money necessarily. I mentioned that many times, that it's not just about the money, but obviously the end goal is to be profitable. And I'm glad that I finally found my main passion in the stock market. I've tried so many things, from creating t-shirts designs for merch by Amazon, just so many different things. So I'm just really happy that I finally found something that just clicks with me. I've always been a numbers guy. It's just been my blood. I mean, I always looked at like oil stocks and stuff since I was old enough to drive, because I knew as oil prices would go up, my price at the tank would go up. My dad taught me that at a pretty young age. He was always looking at oil stocks too. So yeah, but anyways, with that, I guess we'll just go ahead and jump right into it. If you guys watched last night's live stream, you know that I had about 50 shares of TVIX. I actually don't have my Robinhood pulled up. I should probably go ahead and get that pulled up. So I already have 2 people joining live. Awesome. I'll do if you all have any ticker symbols you want me to like analyze or anything, you can go ahead and put them in, but I'll get to them later on in this show, or whatever you want to call this. So first things first, I am still down very much on my Robinhood account. We'll get to that here in just a second, but I want to break down exactly what's going on with TVIX, the markets overall. If you're paying attention to the news, you know that Trump just imposed, like, he's essentially threatening, pretty much any time that Trump threatens, tweets, does anything, the market swings one way or another. And if you know anything about the whole tariff situation, pretty much as he does anything related to tariffs, the stocks react horribly. If you are in like the Dow Jones, S&P, anything like that, if you're in big stocks as I am, or ETFs, whatever, then it's very good. And he just imposed essentially, like, it sounds like roughly $100 billion in tariffs. Apparently China said something about 50 million, and now he came back with like 100, something like that. I don't know exactly. I didn't dive into it. I just read like the overall what I needed to know for tomorrow, and I predicted something like this would happen all along. He's been kind of quiet the last, 2, maybe even 3 days now. And obviously you can see TVIX has been dipping ever since he's essentially shut up. So if you look on the flip side, SPY, it had been trending up. Obviously it went up, like 4 to 6% in the last few days. Let's just take it from here, pre-market hours 2 days ago to its high. You are talking, yeah, about 4%. That's what I thought. And what I did notice, though, is that it had trouble over and over getting past the 2666. I was calling it the 666 curse all day today. People kept saying, like, I was looking on stock twits. I get a kick out of people on stock twits, especially when it comes to SPY and everything. They just always think that the SPY is like unstoppable and it's just going to go to the moon, essentially, as I like to say. But they kept saying like 267, 270. I was like, guys, you can't even break the 666 curse. If Trump says one thing, you're going to watch this thing tank after hours. And sure enough, what did he do? He mentioned the whole tariff deal and imposing or threatening some like huge $100 billion tariff thing. So what happened? Boom, we saw this huge pullback, sell-off, and it's consolidating now. And everybody is pretty much expecting China to do something in our pre-market, because Trump was kind of playing dirty, so to speak, and did this right as the Asian markets open. So the Asian markets, I don't know if you guys know, but the Asian markets are down a lot as well. So everyone's expecting China to retaliate when right around market open, like just a little bit before market open tomorrow. So a lot of people are expecting this to continue. Some people are even saying watch out for 256, 255. I personally say that we might get around 260 or just below. Either way is good for me because obviously I am in very deep on TVIX. So how would this directly relate with TVIX? Pretty much VIX tends to go opposite of the market. So as the market goes up, VIX tends to go down. And that might explain why, if you look at TVIX years ago, like when the market crashed, that might explain why we were seeing TVIX so high once upon a time. I don't think this is still quite right, but if you look on Robinhood, it shows it's like 20,000. I still don't really, I need to look into that. I'm like so interested in how that could possibly be, but I mean, that might be an explanation in all honesty. But anyways, back to like the whole point. What I'm expecting with TVIX now, we consolidated really good around like 10.05, I think is where it ended up finishing at, like 10.05, 10.03, something like that. You can see we had this huge push up. It got up to 10.25 actually for a brief second. Got rejected and came back down and it kind of consolidated right around $10 at 10.05. And I do think it says 10.07 here, so it might be 10.07. It's around 10.05 roughly. But anyways, what am I expecting? Obviously, when it comes to just news events and how it swings the stocks, you don't have to necessarily pay attention. I mean, you do still, but you don't have to necessarily pay attention to your indicators quite as much. If anything, you might want to pay attention to just the MACD and the volume in this case, because as obviously the volume is going to be less than market hours and aftermarket, but there was huge volume for post-market, aftermarket, whatever you want to say, aftermarket hours. And obviously, I mean, it just spiked. I mean, it spiked like 6%, 6 or 7% after hours, or maybe 10 even. It's showing about 10% after hours. So what do I expect? I expect right off the bat, I think whatever's going to happen is going to happen quick, because we also have like, was it jobs report, something like that tomorrow? Like how many people pretty much don't have a job or something like that. Wow, got a whole bunch of notifications at once. My laptop's lagging. But anyways, what I'm expecting tomorrow, I think we will again see a jump pre-market and into early market hours. However, I'm thinking we're going to have a slight resistance. I mean, I think we are going to go ahead and shoot up to $11 easy in the morning. I know it sounds like a lot, which it is. I mean, you're talking a whole nother like 9 to 10%, but once we get there, I think we're going to have a little bit of trouble once we get around like 11.15 to 11.20. I think we consolidate around there for a while, but eventually, just with the news and everything, I just think we're at least going to get roughly up to about 12. And if so, obviously I would then finally be in the green by like, I don't know exactly how much. I got in at a horrible time, like what was it, 11.67 if I remember right. So let me go ahead and calculate that real quick. If it does get to 12, which some people are saying we could get to 14. I don't really see 14. I mean, is it out of the realm of possibility? Absolutely not. We've seen it at 15 recently, but I kind of like to be more conservative, more realistic, as I like to say. So let's just say it got to 12. I would make 33 cents. Nothing, it's not going to be a huge profit, but from where I was at earlier today and yesterday, I mean, making profit at all is just like, it just shows if you stick to your plan, don't sell low. If I had money, if I had more funds, I would have been buying all the way down. I mean, I just would, but I obviously used all my funds in TVIX and DRIP earlier this week, so I'm kind of just holding. We'll talk about DRIP here as well, DRIP and Gush. But anyways, 33 cent profit divided by my initial investment of 11.67. I'm pretty sure it was 11.67 because I was just looking at it. But you're looking at still about 3% profit. I mean, that's not a good profit, at least to me, for a swing trade, because it had taken, what, 3 or 4 days. So you're looking at 1%, around 1% per day. Now, am I going to sell exactly at 12? I mean, no. I mean, if, in all honesty, if it gets up to where, like, I was, like, say it gets around, like, 11.65 to 11.70 and just starts really consolidating, going back and forth, kind of getting rejected, I don't see why it would exactly. There's no real sign other than, like I said, right around that 11.20 mark, we're going to see some resistance, I believe. But after that, I mean, if it just shows signs that's going to keep on pushing, then I mean, I might go on up to the high of 12.12. And if we go back even further, was it 10-day or 20-day? 20-day maybe. I know recently we had a high of like 15.15. Might have been further back. Let me see. I know we hit like 15.15. Was it in here? No. Okay, so I don't see, yeah, I don't see 15 or anything like that happening. But say, I'm just saying in theory, say we go ahead and just push on through 12, which I don't see happening, but say we do. I mean, obviously I'm just going to hold until it looks like it's going to stop, pull back, correct, anything like that. But I'm just going to play it out. I mean, same thing kind of happened. Obviously here you see we spiked after hours, what, about same amount, about 12%. And then pre-market, we went ahead and jumped up, what, like another 5 to 6%. And then that is where we then started seeing the sell-off over the next 2 days. So, I mean, it's up to you at the end of the day. I don't know where exactly you guys are in TVIX, if any of you guys are even in TVIX. But pretty much my target sell point at this point is $12. However, like I said, I mean, I'm going to watch it really. I'm going to see what happens once we get up to 11 and push through 11. I think we're definitely going to push through 11. I mean, just look how much it jumped after hours with that news. I just look for it to, I think 11 is definitely going to happen for sure. It's just what's going to happen after that. Once we get around here is where I'm really going to start paying attention, right around 11:20. Obviously, we're going to see some consolidation probably, but for how long? What's going to happen with the jobs report or whatever report's coming out tomorrow? A lot of people are actually predicting that to be in favor of TVIX as well, which is why some people are saying 14. But I mean, like I said, I don't really like to go off news quite as much. I mean, I just like to go off of like just the momentum and just cover my profits essentially. Like I said, if I can get up to 12, I'm just going to sell. Honestly, if I can get up to, like I said, right around where I bought in, if it starts showing signs of consolidation and doesn't know what's really going to happen, I'm going to kind of step back. Just look at the overall market, and if I think TVIX is going to go ahead and take a dip, then by all means, I'll just get out, at least learn my lesson, stick with my plan next time, and just move on. But I mean, I'm definitely encouraged. Finally, I was really kind of just on edge today. I mean, I knew we were probably going to, like I said, I didn't think there was going to be a lot of movement. We really looked similar, actually. I mean, this wasn't a lot of movement in all honesty for how volatile the market's been. But what did today look like? It reminded me of, was on the 5-day or 10-day. It reminded me a lot of this day. Because look, SPY kind of did this number and jumped a little. If you look at it on the inverse, let me go to TVIX now, maybe. Doesn't it look kind of similar? It kind of dipped and then consolidated, now it's jumping up. So I mean, like I said, it's just the opposite. Whatever one does, the other does the opposite. That's just, I mean, I'm just excited. I mean, when I looked away from my Thinkorswim, I had it still pulled up, but I looked away. Right around just after hours, I was like, man, there's not shit happening. Either this thing's gonna just continue to go down to like maybe even $6, $7 or $6, or something's gonna happen and Trump's finally gonna say something, which obviously he did. I got the notification. I looked at Thinkorswim really quick. At that time, it was already up to like 960, something like that, and I was already a little happy because I was like, man, we already went up like 3%, 4% post market hours, after market hours, whatever. And then I just kept watching, just kept going boom, 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 just kept going up. Did get rejected 1025. I was actually hopeful that we would see 11 before the end of like after hours, but it's not a huge deal. We obviously have to see some sort of a pullback, or else it would eventually just top out and then crash, or pull back big, sell off, whatever. So this is actually really good that our RSI on the 1 day is like back to where it's not showing signs of overbought at all. MACD, I'm not really paying attention to too much in this case. But yeah, like I said, guys, I would not be surprised if we wake up in the morning and see this thing at $11 plus. I would not hop in by any means at market open, because it could easily just do about what it did a couple days ago, where it looked like it was just going to keep on going. And then, because like you can see right here, pre-market got up to 12.12, kind of consolidated. People were watching, even me. Obviously, I hopped in. It was just consolidating. We saw it go below the SMA. Hopped in as it got above it. That's when, obviously, or at some point I hopped in when it hopped above some SMA indicator. Did not wait for the confirmation. Where I messed up, actually, it was right in here. Yes, hopped above the EMA is what I meant. Did not wait for my confirmation, and then boom, just had to write it down ever since. So I don't want to write on this too long. I'm just saying, pretty much, I'm looking for, all signs are pointing towards Dow, S&P, all the like majors, whatever, to open like down 2% roughly, 1.5% to 2%. So in that case, Dow, they're predicting it to start the day out minus 4 to 500, maybe even more, depends on how China retaliates overnight. It might look a lot like Monday, in all honesty, guys. That's why I'm super excited. Was it Monday? Yeah, Monday or Tuesday. That is why we saw such a huge jump in TVIX on Monday as well. Look what happened here. Trump, I forget what exactly happened that day, but I mean, look at this jump we saw. What did we see? Like plus 25%, 22%, somewhere around there at one point in the day. So it's not out of the realm of possibility. I mean, we're only up, what, like I said, about 10% right now. So if we go up, but yeah, about 10%. So if we go up like even just another 10%, you're, like I said, you're at 1123. That's where I see the next major resistance is around 1123. So I don't want to keep just beating that dead horse, but either way, if you got in under $10, I mean, you're looking at a pretty decent morning tomorrow. I would not hold too long. That's all I'm saying as for that. But let me go ahead and make sure our stream is still doing well. That's one thing I wanted to also ask you guys is like, is my stream, like overall, is it having to buffer a lot or anything like that? How is that going? But as you can see, I mean, today, like I said, it was still a really bad day. I at least almost made all of that money back from today. Obviously, my account overall is still down a lot. I'm down like, what, like 15% still for the week. This says down 10%. I don't understand that at all. But let me see, down $84. Oh, because it's taking into account the money that I made at the very beginning of the week. So, okay, that makes sense. But yeah, I guess that does make sense. So I'm still down about 10%. That's kind of where, like I said, I mean, if as long as you average your 3% whatever a day, your bad days will not even amount to anything, because at the end of the day, you only, and I have this really bad sore, but at the end of the day, the bad days only matter if you sell on those bad days. If you just wait it out. Now, I'm not saying you should hold some turd penny stock or something like that until it goes up, because you might be waiting years, or you might end up losing all your money because a penny stock can be delisted tomorrow. I mean, you don't know. But like I said, 50 shares. We got Drip as well. Drip at a horrible price, like $13 or something like that. So we're waiting on that as well to go up. It's also Drip. What I've kind of noticed as of late, it tends to go as the market goes as well. Inverse of the market, of course. So that would mean what, Gush would be going up. I don't know why Gush is not on my watch list, but yes, I expect tomorrow for Gush to continue to drop. I look for Drip to go up. I think Drip will probably top out, in all honesty, around $13. We can go ahead and take a look at that really quick. If you guys want, I'll get you guys pulled back up here. But we'll get Drip. So we'll look at Drip. As you can see, it's been trending below the SMA indicator lately, at least the 5-day. If we look at the, I don't know if I want to look at the 180-day necessarily. Not really showing me too much on the 180. 10-day had been acting as a resistance, so I look for it to act as a resistance again right around 1278. I think we will for sure get past 1275, but I look for it to have a little bit of resistance right around 1275 to 1280. It just depends. This one might take a little longer to play out. On the flip side of TVIX, however, it is still going to happen fairly quick. I think all of my moves, if I make any moves, which I probably will happen very, very early tomorrow, like within the first hour or so of market open. However, I think we will go ahead and push through the resistance. Like I said, I'll look for it to get up to 13. The only thing that I see then is if it can get up to 13, I look for it to go ahead and probably push on up to about 1330, which at that point I'd be well positive. Nothing huge, but better than where I'm at, obviously. That is just what I'm so stoked about. It's like when I first started doing this, what you guys don't understand is when I first started doing this, if you go back and look at my previous videos from like a month and a half, 2 months ago, when I first started doing this, I would have definitely panicked. I would have cut my losses at like what would have been like minus 14% and just been like, oh, well, I learned my lesson and move on. Well, how I learned my lesson from doing that previously, because I did it, I lost my ass on TVIX because I thought I was like cutting losses, and I cut losses for like 11%, pretty similar to what's been going on lately. But I learned from that. I was like, TVIX, I mean, I noticed that it tends to just go as the opposite of what the market goes. Drip as well. Obviously, Drip is inverse to Gush, and they're kind of directly, I won't say directly, but they're pretty correlated to /CL oil. What's going on? JWJ, or man, I keep messing yours up when I look at it. JWYMC2. How's it going? But yeah, they're pretty much directly, not directly, but they're pretty spot on with CL. As this goes up, Gush tends to go up. As it goes down, Drip tends to go down. So with that being said, why am I saying the Drip's probably going to continue to push, as well as TVIX, obviously, because CL tends to go with the market. So I look for CL to go well under 63. I look for it to test actually $62 tomorrow, which would obviously push Gush down to probably around $23. Maybe even below 23, might see 22. I wouldn't say 22 flat, but it is not out of the realm of possibility by any means, guys, which is why I'm saying I think TVIX, I think Drip will test 13 to 13.30 tomorrow, which would obviously be very good for me and very good for anybody that caught it on the way down today, because I mean, we saw a huge sell-off the last 2 days with Drip as well as TVIX. So yeah, I mean, I got into them at horrible times. Obviously, I thought that we were going to bounce. I mean, Drip, I mean, let's look at Drip compared to TVIX. They look pretty similar, don't they? The SMA, 10-day SMA, or what were we on, 20-day? 10-day. The SMA for 10-day have been acting as a support. Obviously, it broke it and kept going down. What happened with Drip? Very similar, right? No, not so similar. On the last week, it had been acting as a support. It went below it, acted still as a support. Well, the support was roughly at $12 at that point. But however, once it got below the SMA, it still went back up. Tried to go below it, went back up. Tried to go below it again, even right in here on this day, and went back up. And then finally, it just said, you know what, enough. The market started going up. Trump stayed away from Twitter and stayed away from China for a couple days, and that's why the market went up. That is why the price of oil went up, Gush went up. So inverse to that, Drip fell, and what happened? TVIX plummeted, to say the least. So, but with that being said, I don't know if you're just tuning in, JWYMC2, but yeah, if you haven't heard, Trump is at it again with the whole tariff deal. You can see TVIX has pretty, let me go just to the 1 day so you get how much. We have shot up like 10% after hours. I think at the end it's like 6%, but 9%. So yeah, still about 10% after hours. I look for it to go up at least another 10, maybe even 15% pre-market into early market hours tomorrow. I look for the Dow Jones to open up roughly -4 to 500 points. I look for S&P. Let me get the S&P pulled up. Actually, I want to give you guys like a rough estimate of what I'm thinking for these. I'm trying to get them loaded up here really quick for you guys. So I'm looking for S&P to probably be down. Let's see, we're currently at 260. Let me just get it pulled up right here. I don't know why I'm doing it like that. Yeah, no, if I didn't have my alert set, I wouldn't have seen it either. But S&P is currently right around right around 662.84. I look for it to, if we look at the 5-day, that's where I'll get a better idea. I look for S&P to probably drop down at least to around 2,600. Yeah, 2,600 is definitely not out of the realm of possibility for tomorrow, which would mean how much of a percentage drop overall? It would mean roughly 2,600. Yeah, that'd be about 2 to 3% drop. And then for the NASDAQ, I don't know if I have that. Yeah, NDX. NASDAQ, I look for it to probably also drop down to around, let me see what 3% would be. I look for it to drop at least roughly to 2410 at the minimum, or no, 6410 is what I mean, not 2410. 6410 is what I'm looking for with that roughly. It's gonna try to stay right here, right above 6457. We might see it try to bounce off of that, but it's just to remain seen. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if we go ahead and see it just nosedive all the way down here, -3.8%. That's not out of realm of possibility for tomorrow. As well as with the Dow, as well as with the S&P. There's just going to be I look for a huge panic sell-off tomorrow. It's just, it happens time. What did I say? What if I said like the last week. I mean, since you guys at least have been watching me. I mean, this stock market is almost predictable. I mean, you can't get the exact day, obviously, or else I would not be in the situation I'm currently in. But I mean, look, we saw it go up, 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 and then what happened? Boom, minus 5% in a period of like a day or two. And then we've seen it kind of consolidate, and then it went down, and then it went up really quickly, and then what happened? Boom, it dropped like 2%, 1.5%. And then it's kind of had, and then Trump shut it up for about 2 days, 2.5 days. It started going up and up and up, and then it got around I keep saying 2, right around 615, and the Nasdaq, and then S&P is right around, what was it, 2, I don't remember exactly, but kind of just consolidated. It didn't really want to push up above the high. Obviously, it didn't want to approach the high at all, and then it got rejected. And obviously, you can't, for whatever reason, see too much into the after hours. But if we look at SPY, you sure will. If we look at SPY, this is what I look at the most because SPY tends to inverse just about everything that I invest in. But what happened? You see this? I actually want to go a little further back so you see what I'm talking about again. You see we had this push up, here about 2% up. What happened? It went down, consolidated, boom, also dropped. And then a few days later, started pushing up, boom, had another like 2% sell off. Been pushing up while Trump shut up for a few days, consolidated, boom. Trump speaks about tariffs, goes down, and I look for China to retaliate right before our market opens tomorrow, and I look for that to continue going into the market. So like I said, I would not be surprised if SPY goes down at least to 260, and I wouldn't be a bit surprised if we see 257 or even 255 at some point. And I'm not saying 255 flat, I'm saying in the 255s. But I'm predicting at least 260, which would be what, only about another 2%, not even 2%. About a whole percent. So I mean, yeah, I think we will definitely see right around 257 by early market hours tomorrow. But it's to be determined. Like I said, I mean, I'm not a fortune teller. If so, I'd make millions on millions of dollars at this, which I don't yet. So yeah, I mean, is there any ticker symbols or anything you guys would like me to go over really quick? I want to talk about also, I've been like not staying on topic as for like what stocks to trade. That's what this video is actually about, is like what ETFs and stocks you should trade when the market's going down. I'll get to that here in just a second, but if you guys want to put any tickers that you want me to look at also, I'll be happy to do those as well. But and I want to know how the stream health is doing. Are we lagging at all? Are we like, well, how's it going? I see we got 3 people tuning in. Awesome, awesome. Apparently we've had 3 for a little bit now. So awesome, awesome. Hope the stream is doing well. Hope it's not like lagging or having to buffer a lot for you guys. But yeah, so what the video essentially was titled for and what it was about, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people that see this after it uploads that probably won't watch very long because I didn't get straight to the point. But oh well, I wanted to go over like the quote-unquote breaking news first before anything. Obviously, that's the main reason I even jumped on. But how do you make money in a bear market? I mean, I think we're in a bear market already. A lot of people are trying to say we're not. I think by the end of the year, we're going to see the S&P down at least 10%. But that's just me personally. I'm not even putting 20 out of realm of possibility. Obviously, that is like a huge drop, but that's just a whole nother subject. I looked out on IFN today, and it was able to sell. Yeah, I heard a lot. Are you in the TechBud Solutions group? Because I heard a lot about that. I heard a lot about those 2, actually, the last couple of days. I didn't do anything with them. Obviously, I've been kind of trapped. I trapped myself in TVIX and DRIP for most of this week. But, yeah, I heard a lot about those. What exactly went on? What is that? Is that LFIN? Is that what it is? I hope this is the right one. Yeah, I believe so. So it dipped around. What happened here? 4:30:58 during earnings. Okay, so it dipped low. Yeah, I mean, it looks like it was a good buy. Holy hell! When did you get in? Because I hope I'm even on the right one. Is that LFIN? I think so. If so, man, doubled your money, easy. Good God. I watch a few videos, but oh, okay. But yeah, if this was one you got in, you made some money today, man. Good for you. And then it was also CP. I think we broke that one down, didn't we? This was you were the one that was in this, and I thought that it could have been a potential like bad move for you, wasn't it? Let's look at the 1 day on it. See what happened today. So today, it did shoot up. Where'd you sell off? You bought 20, 40, sold 22. Are you talking about like? Wait, which one are you talking about? Where you sold 20, 40? Were you talking about the LFIN? LFI. Oh, I was on the wrong stock earlier, I think. But so you got in at 2040. So I'm assuming you got in as it started rising up. You saw it kind of consolidate right up here. You say you got in at 2040. So you got in right about, well, we're gonna say you're in at 2042. But and you sold off at 22. So you seen what about, man, you saw some good profits, dude. Sold at 22 flat, if we can get it there. I mean, you saw about 7.5% profit then on that. That's awesome. But you had a good day today then, huh? Time to take the wife out with those profits. But so yeah, you bought it. Where'd you buy it at again? You bought it like 27 cents, right? Wonder where you sold that off at. Man, if you got it up here for 29, you made a little bit of money. Let's see, if you got in roughly around 27 cents, which I believe you did, so right around 27, I think you said 27.2 or something, if I remember right. Yeah, you're looking at, again, about another 7 or 8, so you probably did about 7 to 8%, 27 to 27.95, so I was pretty close, 27.9. Man, you sold almost right at the high. So 29.5. Yeah, you had like an 8% day today. Wow, good for you. That's awesome. How new are you to this anyways? Have you been doing this a while? I've only been doing it like 2 months. Like I said, I'm documenting everything I do. That way, I even look back at my own videos from time to time to see what mistakes I made so I can not make them again in the future. I don't know why I went to TVIX, but oh yeah, like the whole point of the video again, like I said. So like what stocks, ETFs should like you, I mean, I'm not gonna say should you invest in, but should you at least consider, look at, investing in started in December. Okay, awesome. But like what would I look for whenever like the market's down? So like from what I've been trading over the last few weeks specifically, like sticking to my plan and whatnot, sticking more with the ETF route. Obviously I do a few penny stocks, have them in my watch list. I need to update this Sunday, actually, before Sunday stock watch. But I'm sticking with like ETFs and TVIX should technically be over there. But what do I tend to trade when the market is red? So when the market is red, I am big on TVIX, I'm big on DRIP, and I'm generally pretty big on, I believe it's UGAS, if I remember right. Even though I have not actively traded UGAS, I do on my paper trading account just to see, because I mean obviously it's a pretty high price stock for smaller accounts, which isn't a huge deal, but I just like I like sticking with stocks that are around like 25 bucks or less when starting out with like a smaller account, but that's just me personally. But the ones that I stick with the most, I'll show you guys patterns that kind of confirm this, so you don't think I'm just like spitting BS out of my ass or anything. But like I said, I mostly stick with the ones I stick with the most when the market is red is specifically TVIX, DRIP, and just UGAS. JNUG as well, off and on. I did JNUG a couple times early on when I was trading. But if you didn't catch beginning of the video or even up to like the last 5 or 10 minutes, TVIX pretty much inverse is SPY, which is pretty much S&P 500. So just look at the 1 day on SPY. You can see what's happening after. Our SPY has took this huge dip. So what has TVIX done in retaliation, so to speak? Has shot up. So there's your proof right there. TVIX definitely tends to go inverse of however the market goes, because TVIX is essentially a VIX stock, ETF, whatever you wish to call them. And VIX is obviously inverse of what the market does. I don't know if we can pull up VIX on here, but yeah, so you see here VIX overall have been going down. I don't believe VIX and TVIX are directly correlated, or else you'd obviously seen a huge push in VIX. But that's just something to keep an eye out on if you're wanting to trade with TVIX. I definitely suggest you guys do a whole bunch of research on just like VIX overall. There's like a bunch of the futures, I believe, is UVXY, if I remember right. So if we want to pull that up really quick, UVXY, I believe. So yeah, see, look at that, and then look at TVIX. Identical. So those are what you want to look at for sure. I actually probably ought to save that into my watch list. I'll go ahead and do that right now. Add to watch list. I'll add it to, I don't know if I want to add it to my ETFs. I guess I might as well. And I'll go ahead and add TVIX in there as well. I probably ought to rename that, but I don't care. So now we got that done. But yeah, so they do pretty much opposite of whatever the market is doing. So just keep that in mind. And then drip and gush are obviously inverse of one another. And what I've noticed of late, since obviously they're correlated with /CL, you can tell that /CL tends to go up as the market goes up as well. And what has just happened recently, the market has obviously had a huge pullback, almost just straight down sell off. So what has happened with /CL, same thing. So what happens then? You see gush after hours, boom, sell off, which did what to drip, boom. I mean, not necessarily a huge push, but I mean, it's showing signs that it wants to go up. That's why I say I'm thinking that we're at least going to see $13, if not $13.30 tomorrow. Is not out of realm of possibility. So, and then with JNUG and JDST, obviously see JNUG right here. What has it done? Boom. That's why I said when the market's red, that's a good time for JNUG, because then you look at JDST, boom, starting to have a sell-off. Look at /GC. It's not really doing too much. /GC, pretty much as this goes up, I believe that means that JNUG is also going to go up, because price of gold tends to go up as there's high volatility with within the market, which obviously there has been, which is why you see this just to continue go up with no really sign of stopping as of late. So in turn, you're going to see what? JNUG, boom, same thing, start to go up. So pretty much as /GC is going to go up, you're going to see JNUG go up. JNUG might be a potential good day trade early on in the morning tomorrow. Don't put me on the record or anything saying that. I have not invested in JNUG whatsoever as of late. However, yeah, I mean, it would be a good, depending on how high it pushes up in the morning, it might be too late. You might be too late on it, but who's to say it won't ride on up to 14? I mean, like I said, anything's really possible, how volatile this market is. But I mean, yeah, those are just quickly a few ETFs mostly that I like to trade whenever the market is red. I mean, every time I've traded them, I've been green. I've came out green. TVIX obviously has taken me longer than all the others, and I got into drip at a horrible time. I don't know exactly what I was thinking. I guess I thought that the market was just going to be red all week. I think that's actually what I was thinking coming in, but if I had paid more attention, obviously I was on vacation, so I wasn't really doing that was a Robert Kiyosaki tweet, so I'm always looking at that. But I was obviously on vacation, so I wasn't doing quite the amount of due diligence I usually do. If I would have, I would have noticed just by the overall trend that the market was due to obviously sell off Monday like it did. But then I should have known better. I should have knew it was going to go ahead and trend up probably majority of the week, which it did, and then know that yes, probably by Thursday or Friday, like I said yesterday, Thursday or Friday, we'd see a sell-off, which we are now. So just always do your own due diligence before investing in anything. Cannot stress that enough. And at the end of the day, just stick to your plan. Know when to cover profits. Know when to, I don't know if you want to say cover your losses, but set a stop loss. I knew that getting into TVIX was going to be a very high risk. I don't even know what that app is, but obviously I knew TVIX was going to be a high risk, high reward potential. That is why I did not set any stop loss, stop limit loss, whatever, on TVIX or DRIP. I know that they can move very quickly, and I know they can go up very quickly. That is why I'm, at the end of the day, not too worried about it, because we could see TVIX above $12 tomorrow. A lot of people are predicting 12 to 14. I'll be happy with just 12. I already mentioned that at the beginning of this stream, so I don't want to keep like reiterating or anything like that. But yeah, I guess I'll go ahead with that, and unless if there's any ticker symbols, like I said, if there's any ticker symbols any of you guys want me to go over, I'll be happy to go over them really quickly. But if there's none that come in within the next minute or so, I guess I'll just do a quick recap of everything and go ahead and get to wrapping the stream up. So I want to make sure that our stream health is still doing all right too. Hopefully the stream is doing well. Can't ever really tell. But yeah, so overall, I guess really quick, I'll keep you all pulled up right here in case if something does come in. But overall, you can see 50 shares of TVIX, 18 shares of DRIP. I'm looking to be well green tomorrow. I mean, tomorrow might be like my biggest I mean, I'm not going to say technically it's not a green, I mean, it'll be a green day technically, but it's not going to technically be like my biggest green move because I'm only going to still end up making about 3% on a swing trade, which you guys know I don't like swing trading to begin with. I'm more of a day trader, but at least I'll be ending the week green. I mean, like I said, you only lose if you buy too high and sell too low. If anything, like I said, if I had more funds in my account, I would have been buying TVIX all the way down and made my average cost lower. But it is what it is. By the end of the day, by the end of the week, I hope to be up roughly at least still about 2 to 3%. Overall, it's not great, but it's better than ending red. If you're ending green, period, you're doing what 90%, 90 to 95, maybe even higher percent of the market cannot seem to do. And why is that? Simply because most people see shit like this and they go, oh my God, sell, sell, sell. It's just rookie mistakes at the end of the day. I would rather just write it out. I know I'll make my money back plus some. That's just my take on it. I'll be watching TVIX closely. Yeah, I mean, if you're not in TVIX right now, it might honestly be too late. I mean, like I said, I'm never going to tell you guys like where to exactly hop in or anything like that. But, yeah, I mean, it's just stuff with TVIX, as you can see, I mean, it happens just so quickly, and it always seems to be during post-market and pre-market hours, like, just consistently. I mean, obviously Monday we had this huge push, and this could happen. So I mean, I'm not gonna like go on the record and say it is too late because I mean it can happen. It's just what's going on tonight and probably tomorrow morning looks a lot like what happened on the 3rd, going into the 4th. So which was just a day or two ago. So I mean, could it happen? Could it happen that we kind of consolidate like we're doing right now and then shoot just way up at market open? Yes. I'm just not willing to bet on that. I mean, we could, like I said, we could see something like this, which happened, when was that? What day was this? The 28th, 27th, 28th, we saw the same thing kind of happen. So I'm not going to say it's too late or anything. I'm just going to say be very, very, very careful. Like you said, watch it closely. I mean, like I said, we might wake up and it'll be around $11. If it's around $11, if it's below $11, say it's at like 1070, I would probably consider hopping in because I've already said I think we're going to hit 11 plus. I think we'll hit a resistance right around 11.15 to 11.20, but I think once we break that, we'll see 12 easy. But I mean, like I said, you cannot predict the market. Anyone thinks they can predict the market probably has lost a lot of money. But yeah, like you said, just watch it closely and I mean, see what happens. I mean, if you can hop in and make a quick 2 or 3%, awesome. I mean, that's what I did on Monday. I made a quick 6%, a quick 3% off of TVIX on Monday. Got kind of cocky, thought it was going to go ahead and go on up to like 14 or 15, and obviously it's bit me of late, but by the end, I'll still probably be up about 2, 3, maybe even 4%. So we'll just see. You can definitely expect a live stream tomorrow, no matter what happens. I'm really excited for sure. It's probably going to be hard for me to get sleep tonight. You believe it or not, I get less sleep when I think I'm going to have a big day the next day versus whenever I've had a shit day like the last day or two. I got so much sleep last night. It was amazing. But yeah, I'll go ahead and wrap this video up, guys. I don't want it to get too long. I know you guys probably have stuff to do. We're going on 9 o'clock here in Central Time as well. So you guys can expect another live stream probably tomorrow. Like I said, between 7 to 8 p.m. Central Time like we have pretty much all this week. So I hope you guys did like the live stream video whenever you see this. If you did, definitely make sure to smash that like button. I greatly appreciate that. And if this is your first video or live stream and you liked what you've seen, definitely consider hitting that subscribe button below to those of you that are new. And like I always say, thank you guys so much for tuning in. I would have no reason to do this without you guys other than just talking to a blank camera and documenting the stuff for myself. But again, thank you guys so much for the support. And yeah, I guess I'll just see you guys tomorrow. Take it easy, guys.